Hello YouTube, happy weekend everyone. What's going on everybody? I hope everybody have a good day. And guys, in today's video I want to do a review of my new acquisition. This is my new acquisition of the new timepiece that I actually got about a month ago, almost a month ago. So I've been owning this watch and have been using it intensively for the past 1 month. But just today I decided to after owning it for like a month and use it with a this is a real user experience. With a real user experience, I decided to make a video about this watch, which I feel is so underrated. And in front of me here there's this Omega. We have Omega, a sport chronograph from Omega. This is Omega Speedmaster. The official name is Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch Co-Axial Chronograph 44.25 millimeter. We're gonna talk today. I'm gonna do a very detailed review. I'm gonna talk about the movement. I'm gonna talk about the size, the proportion. I'm gonna talk about the features, all the features that this watch actually offer, that is actually very abundant, and it's actually a very great deal in the pre-owned market, especially for this watch compared to the Speedmaster Pro. And so let's get down to it, guys. Let's get started because I have a lot of things to cover for this watch. A very interesting sport chronograph Omega from Omega. Okay, so the first I have to tell you that, okay, if you look at this watch just briefly, you probably get mistaken and you take it as a Speedmaster Moonwatch Professional, but it's actually not the case. This is actually the Speedmaster Co-Axial Chronograph. So let's talk about the movement first. So this is actually an this watch has an automatic movement instead of manual wound movement like the original Moonwatch Speedmaster Professional. So this one is automatic with a 60 hours power reserve. So it's actually more than the Speedmaster Pro, which is 48 hours power reserve. And so this one can stay on for about 2.5 days before it dies, and it's automatic, so you don't have to wind it every single day. And the beautiful thing about this watch is that it features an in-house movement from Omega. So the speed, that's why a lot of people in the forum, a lot of people in the internet, they call this Speedmaster version as instead of Speedmaster Moonwatch Co-Axial Chronograph, but they say it to be Speedmaster Speedy Speedmaster 9300 because it features the coaxial movement from Omega, so-called 9300 movement. Is a vertical clutch. Is a chronograph column wheel vertical clutch. What does that mean? That means you can actually run this chronograph. So I'm gonna run mine. So you just press it like that, like any other chronograph, and you don't have to worry about the wear and tear because with a vertical clutch system, it's just basically there's no impact whatsoever. No matter how many times you push the chronograph. So I can stop it and then continue, stop it, continue. It will not affect the movement itself. It will not cause any damage. There is not going to be any wear and tear, so which is very nice. It's actually, and if you look at the market, the chronograph which features a vertical clutch system, they're all like, you can consider it to be high end. I mean, you're talking about like Jaguar Ultra, IWC. The IWC, normally if you want to get the vertical clutch system from their chronograph, you got to go up the line. You got to go to not the Pilot, but you got to go get the Portugueser, which is actually a higher end of the IWC or the Jaguar Ultra or Rolex Daytona. So that's just to tell you that this watch has the same feature, the vertical clutch system that can compete with the big boys. Okay, so this is why I feel like this watch is so it's just packed like so much bang for the buck. Okay, it's just so underrated in the watch community, and this is why from this review I want to basically do a review that basically open the eyes of a lot of people, that they can consider this watch. It's a really great alternative to the Speedmaster Moonwatch itself. And then also, okay, so we talk about automatic, the movement 9300. So now we're going to talk about the accuracy. So my experience with this watch, I've been using it for like a month, and this watch is pretty accurate. It's still with the accuracy itself is within the COSC standard, so I get about -3 seconds in a day. Yeah, -3 seconds. So that's still within COSC's standard, because COSC standard is about -4 plus 6 seconds. So this is -3 seconds, and which I believe it's more accurate than the Speedmaster Moonwatch, because I heard I've never had a Moonwatch in my life, but I see website and a lot of people, some people complain in the website, because Moonwatch is not COSC certified, and Moonwatch, they call it they say like the accuracy can be like I don't know, minus plus 10 seconds, 15 seconds. This is crazy, so that this one, because it's in-house by Omega, so the movement is good, the accuracy is good. I have two Rolex. In terms of accuracy, this one doesn't beat Rolex. My Rolex runs about +1 second, plus 0 point something second for my Sea Dweller. Insanity. Okay, so it's not as accurate as my Rolex, but it is still respectable in terms of accuracy. And also this watch, because it features the 9300 in-house movement, so you can see like it has open case back. It's pretty well decorated by Omega. Of course, it's not going to be beautifully decorated like Patek Philippe or any super high-end watch, but it's still pretty good for the price that they charge you, and also it's quite robust from what I understand. And also the very, very good thing about this Speedmaster 9300 movement is that it's anti-magnetic up to 15,000 Gauss, so you don't have to worry about exposing this watch to anything. 15,000 Gauss is plenty. Okay, even I have Rolex Milgauss. That one is an anti-magnetic watch, but that can only withstand up to 1,000 Gauss of magnetic force, but this one is 15 times stronger, so you can imagine it's crazy. And that's actually one of the reasons why I decided to pick up this watch, because the reason is because I want to get a beater. I want to get a watch that's strong, that I can use for every for like daily use, that doesn't attract a lot of attention, and this watch fit the bill. And because it's Omega, it's not so catchy. It's that Omega makes a great quality watch, but they're not catching it as much attention as Rolex does. Okay, and then so we talk about watch, and then I want to talk about the date. So this watch also features a date, so it's quite nice. So it's not like the Speedmaster Pro, which is dateless. Some people don't like date, but me, I feel indifferent when it comes to date, and when I wear a watch, they're about like 12 to 20% of the time when I check on a date. So having a date sometimes comes in handy, but sometimes when the watch dies and there's a date, it takes more time to actually set the time, so that can be quite a bummer. So I feel indifferent when it comes to date, because there's definitely that's definitely an added complication, and it has its use, but at the same time it's just great when you have no date, because when the watch dies you can just set the time again, without any difficulty whatsoever. And then when it comes to legibility, this watch features the same legibility as the Moonwatch. The Moonwatch, one of the reasons why the Moonwatch Speedmaster Pro is very, very well known is because of the legibility. The legibility of that watch is just so amazing, and this watch shares the same characteristic. You can see the baton the baton mark, and then the second hand, the chrono second hand, minute hand, and hour hand, all is labeled with white color, and then against the backdrop, against the black dial, it's just very, very contrasty. Okay, so the contrast is there. I use this watch even in the dark and I can still see the time, so it doesn't really matter. So the legibility is really, really great, guys. And I gotta be honest with you, if you're looking at the chronograph and you want a chronograph that is that's perfectly legible, Speedmaster Pro will come out on top. And this watch, since it comes from the same line as the Speedmaster Pro, which is still a Speedmaster family, you can expect the same. The legibility is just so strong. And then let's talk about the the dial. So we have 2 dials instead of 3 dials. So this chronograph is also very unique because it comes with only 2 dials instead of 3 dials like any other traditional chronograph. So here you have a second hand right there, and then here you have a so you can if you want to measure the time, so this sub dial will tell you how many minutes and how many hours have lapsed. So like this one, I've been running this chronograph for about 5 minutes there, because as you can see, 12 to 1, and then there's 2, there's 3. So from 12 to 1, that's like 5 minutes. From 1 to 2, that's like another 5 minutes. So that's from 12 to 3 is 15 minutes, to 6 30 minutes, 9 45, and back to 12 again. That's like 1 hour. And then by the time you hit 1 hour, the shorter hand will move to 1, so that's like 1 hour. So that's how you basically read the time, you know, for the chronograph. And then let's talk about the water resistance. This is also another unique feature of this watch. This watch is actually water resistant up to 100 meters instead of 50 meters. For the Speedmaster Pro only offers 50 meters water resistance, but this watch is 100 meters, so that means it's more robust. You can technically expose it to more water. You know, you can do it. You can basically wear this when you do the water sport. It will not you know, damage this watch. So this watch in a way is quite more robust than the traditional Moonwatch, which I also like. And they actually have discontinued this model, and then they replace it with a new Speedmaster Racing line, and that Speedmaster Racing line Omega cut the water resistance to be only 50 meters instead of 100 meters, and the way they do it is by removing the thickness. So they make a thinner watch for the Speedmaster Racing that they released in 2016, but they compromise with the water resistance. And finally, guys, what I want to talk about is the before I forget, I also have to mention that this watch features a sapphire crystal. So it's not like a Speedmaster Pro that has like crystal. So that means with a sapphire crystal, it's scratch resistant. So it will be scratch free pretty much. Okay, it's because sapphire is just so hard that only diamond can actually scratch it. And finally, guys, what I want to point out from this review, what I really basically want to address is this misconception about Speedmaster. Okay, and after owning this watch, I find that there are a lot of things in the forum, in the internet, that we read that is actually not true. And what is that in terms of size? This watch is stated in the website. Even Omega put it as 44 millimeter wide. You know, the dial is 44 millimeter wide, which is actually very, very misleading. I'm very, very frustrated, really. I mean, when I take my ruler and then actually wear it from here to the other end, and I find that actually this watch is only 41 millimeter. Can you believe it, guys? Is only 41 millimeter instead of 44 millimeter, but Omega stated as 44 millimeter because they measure it from here all the way to the end of the crown. So from here to the end of the crown here, it's 44 millimeter. But if we measure it from here to here, from one end of the bezel to the other end of the bezel, it's only 41 millimeter. And this is why the Speedmaster is so iconic and very classic, even though it's stated as 42 millimeter. But the size of, now I understand that the reason why people, you know, I often hear people saying like, oh, Speedmaster Pro, you know, it's stated as 42 millimeter, but you know, it doesn't wear big. It just fits because because Omega basically overclaim, you know, overstate the size by 3 millimeters. Can you believe it? So this one is actually 41 millimeter, but the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch is actually, instead of 42 millimeter, it's actually 39 millimeter. So this is something that I really want to inform to people out there, you know, who is watching now, so you guys can know that it's just false. The information out there is just false. This one is actually 41 millimeter instead of 44 millimeter, and the reason why this watch is hated so much is because I see a lot of people in the forum saying like, oh, this watch is too big, this watch is too big, you know, I'm gonna pass on it. I'm like, you know, this guy doesn't have a real life experience, seriously. And when I heard of those comments, I still remember I was in the Omega boutique and I tried this for the first time, and I wear it. I was like, shit, I didn't feel it was too big whatsoever. I don't understand why these people think that it was so big. And then after I own this watch, I use my ruler and I measure it. That's when I realized that it's actually bullshit. Like, all the information out there is just nonsense. So this watch is actually just 41 millimeter, guys, even though it's stated as 44 millimeter. So this is something, a very important point that I really have to highlight here. And also in terms of thickness, it's also another nonsense. Hodinkee state the thickness of this watch to be 16 millimeter, which is crazy because I actually use my ruler and I measure from the bottom of the crystal here all the way to the top, and I got about 14.5 millimeters. So I don't understand how they got like 16 millimeter. I'm not bashing Hodinkee or whatsoever, because I often go to Hodinkee website, but from 14.5 to 16, I mean, that's quite a big jump right there. And a lot of people, I see forum people say like, oh yeah, that's 16 millimeter. Holy shit, this watch is so thick. It's 14.5 millimeter, guys. I mean, seriously. And for Speedmaster now, I predict, I don't have Speedmaster yet, but I'm willing to bet, because the difference between this watch and Speedmaster is actually the crystal here. This one has a crystal from this is why this watch is very cool, because it has a feature, it has this sapphire crystal at the top, and it has double sapphire crystal at the top and at the bottom. And so the difference between this watch and the Speedmaster Pro is that the Speedmaster Pro doesn't have the crystal down there. So the Speedmaster Pro, if I have to predict, it will be, if I have to estimate, I think it will be about 13 millimeter, okay, thick, instead of 14 millimeter that is stated on the website. So guys, basically what from this website there, you know, what I want to mention is this, okay, this watch is hated so much. It's hated so much for a lot of reasons that it's just basically, I don't know, to be honest with you, I feel like it's so unfair, you know what I'm saying? Even though I can still see the merit of owning Speedmaster Pro as a traditional moonwatch, because it's a very historical icon, but this watch packs a lot of features that is just so amazing. Like from it's automatic instead of manual. Some people like it, and it's 100 meters water resistance compared to Speedmaster Pro, which is only 50 meters, and then the size is 41 millimeter instead of 39 millimeter of the Moonwatch. So for those of you who actually have a bigger wrist size, you can consider this watch, okay? It's not going to be too big, okay? And matter of fact, this is why it's so crazy, because if people, you know, a lot of people praise like Tudor Pelagos. I tried that watch. It's stated as 42 millimeter, but actually it wears bigger than 42 millimeter. So, and this watch is actually wears smaller than 42 millimeter, wears like 41 millimeter, but it's stated as 44 millimeter. So paper spec is very deceiving. And this watch also has a case back and very amazing in-house movement that features vertical clutch that basically allows you to run the chronograph as much as you want without having to worry that it will cause a wear and tear to the movement itself. So it's very good. Even Omega offer like 4 years warranty for this watch, because it's such a tough movement. So you don't really have to service it, you know, very often, because, you know, 4 years, guys, 4 years. Okay, I think you can use this for 8 years without having to worry about servicing. And also this watch has sapphire, which again is very nice because it will be scratch resistant. And so all in all I can say is this watch is a very great alternative to Speedy Pro, yeah, so it's just great. The movement is great. and a lot of features that I just basically informed you from this video. And I really hope that you enjoy this presentation, this review, guys. I try to cover as much as I can, and this watch has been very enjoyable to wear. I really like it so much, and it's actually, you know, after I own this watch, I rarely wear my Rolex outside. So that's just to show you how much I like it. Alright guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please guys go click subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.